Struggling to find the right moisturizer for your combination or oily skin? Don't worry, I got you. I took my skin from this to this, and finding the right moisturizer was the hardest task. But don't worry, today I'm going to be sharing my top picks that are going to help hydrate your skin without causing the breakouts. Before we get into it, I just want to say welcome to the Be So Good channel, where we're all about elevating ourselves to be our best, both inside and out. It's so good to have you here. Let's dive in. So what is combination or oily skin? Most likely, if you clicked on this video, you already know that you have one of the two, but just to briefly overview, combination skin, which is what I personally lean towards and have, is where you have areas that are a little bit more oily, for example, your T-zone area here, and then you have areas that are a little bit drier or produce less oil. For example, myself, my cheeks, especially where I get a little bit of rosacea, tend to lean a little bit drier than my forehead and my nose area does. It's not dry. I will still get little closed comedones or blackheads or just pimples overall. So I'm very acne prone and very sensitive, but I do tend to lean towards a lot oilier over forehead when I wake up in the morning, or just overall throughout the day. My forehead and my nose definitely produce more oil than my cheeks do, or if I'm ever using any actives, my cheeks get a lot more sensitive and a lot drier than my forehead and my nose. So that would be combination if you're someone that you notice that you have drier patches around, maybe, like I said, your cheeks or your chin, and then you're a lot oilier in your forehead or your nose, then you have combination skin. If you have oily skin, basically overall, like it's all the same, it all produces a lot of sebum, a lot of oil, then you have oily skin. But overall, both are gonna need moisturizers that are very similar, because if you have combination skin, you also have oily skin. So that's what we're gonna be getting into next. So what do you wanna look for in a moisturizer when you have these skin types? You really wanna focus on it being non-comedogenic. So that basically means that it's supposed to not break you out. That being said, like I've said in my other skincare videos, which you can check out my skincare playlist, I'll be sure to link it in the description, and I go over everything on how I cleared my acne and a bunch of other things. But essentially, when you are looking for a moisturizer, you do want it to be non-comedogenic, even though that's not always going to be the one and be all thing. Just because it says that does not mean that it's not going to break you out. It is going to be a little bit of trial and error, but right off the bat, you definitely want to look for something that is supposed to be non-comedogenic, because if it's already saying that it's comedogenic by not saying that it's not comedogenic, I know that's a tongue twister, but you're already basically guaranteed that it's potentially going to break you out. So you just want to be sure that it already says that. And then we go into the next thing, which is I personally look for oil-free, more gel-based formulas. I don't really go for creams, very heavy, occlusive. Occlusive just means that it helps to create a barrier, a skin barrier kind of protectant wall. When you have oily combination skin, that is not what you need. You need lightweight, you need hydrating but not occlusive, you need gel-like, you need oil-free. I personally do not do well with oils, even if they're non-comedogenic oils. If it's really high in the ingredient list, I tend to immediately start to get the little like clogged pores, the little comedones where I can like extract a keratin plug. So for me personally, I look for oil-free, more gel-based, very lightweight, with ingredients like hyaluronic acid, ingredients like niacinamide. I know niacinamide is getting such a bad rap recently. Personally, for me, my skin really likes niacinamide. It also just means that maybe you just need a lower percentage of niacinamide. Like if every single skincare product that you're using has niacinamide, then yeah, of course, you might be overdoing it on that specific ingredient. But overall, niacinamide is actually really good at regulating oil production. And when you have combination or oily skin, you produce a lot of sebum. So it's really good to have things that help to regulate that oil production so that you're not overproducing oil and you're giving your skin a nice healthy balance of the oils that it needs, but not too much to where it's mixing in with your dead skin cells and then you're clogging the pore and the whole acne formation journey begins. One other thing that I look for, besides it being oil-free, non-comedogenic, and more leaning towards gel-based formulas or lightweight formulas over creams, is that I really look for fragrance-free, just because personally my skin does not do well with fragrances. It is just, fragrances are normally just irritants, so like why, I don't even know why people are still putting fragrances in skincare products. I know some people like the experience because it feels like luxurious and spa-like. It's super common in like a lot of French or maybe even European skincare. I wish everything was just made fragrance free because like I personally don't need that aroma experience. I just want it to not irritate my skin and not break me out. And fragrance just tends to be an irritant for me. So all the ones that I'm gonna be talking about today, all the moisturizers, are fragrance free because that is a big thing for me. And it might be a big thing for you too. Okay, so we are starting off with my absolute holy grail. If you watched any of my other videos, you already know I've talked about this one in every single one, and that's because I think it deserves it. And hopefully it never goes viral because nobody talks about this, nobody knows about it. I feel like it's some secret that's out there and I don't want everyone to know, but at the same time I do, which is why I'm telling you. But if you're someone that has any of the things that I've mentioned, sensitive, combination, acne prone, basically you have all the whole host of problems, dermatitis prone, everything under the sun I've experienced. This is also fungal acne safe. I don't even think I said the name of the product yet, but it's basically the Roche-Posay Toleriane Sensitive Fluide. It is so dang good. I love this thing. It is lightweight. It has literally like, I want to say like 10 or 12 ingredients. So it doesn't have a lot. It has things like glycerin, triglycerides, niacinamide, but in like a 2 to 5, I think it's like a 3% niacinamide. So it's not one of those that's going to irritate your skin if you have any type of reaction to niacinamide. And it just has a lot of hydrating ingredients and it's super lightweight. The texture is really nice. I'll show you some pumps here on camera, but basically it's almost like a gel cream, but it is not thick at all. I love this for the summertime in Florida where it's really hot, it's really humid. Same thing when I visit Argentina. I know I can rely on this moisturizer because like look how easily that blended. It's so watery. I put this over a little bit of thermal spray just to really lock in that hydration and that water. It's just the right amount of hydration. And the beautiful thing about it too is that it gives you that kind of glass skin shine, but not in like an oily way because it does actually help control your oil. And whenever I wear this, which is literally every day because it is my everyday moisturizer, I always get compliments on my skin that it's glowing, that it looks so radiant, and it really is this moisturizer. When I don't use it, I feel really dull and I don't feel like I have glass skin, but when I wear it, it just is so wonderful and it's never irritated my skin. It's not gonna break you out. It doesn't have any pore clogging ingredients in it, and I just really think that it is a beautiful option. You can get it online. I have personally never found it in a pharmacy here in the United States, but I did find it in pharmacies in Europe. So I don't know what that's about, but you can find it online. I will have every single thing that I talk about today listed down below with links, and also in my Shop My. My Shop My is just a storefront where I link all my favorite products, all my skincare. I even have it categorized from like moisturizers to cleansers to sunscreens, even makeup. I'll link also my earrings, just really everything that I think can help elevate your life is going to be linked in there. So that'll all be down there below. But this one definitely is one that I highly recommend that you try if you have oily or combination skin. Next up, we have some Korean skincare, and this is the Purito Oat-In Calming Gel Cream. This is another one that has gone very viral over on TikTok and just overall for like Korean skincare and in the fungal acne space, because this also is fungal acne safe, just like the previous one I mentioned. This one is also fragrance free, essential oil free, silicone free, and alcohol free. I will say that this has squalene, which is an oil. It is one of the only oils that is fungal acne safe and that really shouldn't break you out because it mimics your natural oil. Personally, I have not had any issues with this specific moisturizer, and I know so many people that rave about it. Like I said, even those that have fungal acne, which is basically like little bumps and overgrowth of fungus on your skin for various reasons, whether that's weather, whether that's that you're using a lot of occlusive skincare. It can be a lot of different things. I can make a separate video on fungal acne if you want me to, just let me know. But this is also really great for sensitive skin, and it is super affordable. The texture for this one is also very lightweight, very like gel-like, watery. I know for a lot of people it is not enough hydration, but like look at that. It's literally like some watery gel goodness. For some people that maybe are leaning towards more combination or really dry in certain areas, it may not be enough. But if you have oily skin or, you know, pretty severe combination skin, You're gonna love this. This is also super lightweight. You can layer it if you need more because like I said, it's not that hydrating, but it is, but it's not. But if you feel like one little layer is not enough, you can definitely layer it a few times and it should provide ample hydration for your skin. And overall, I just think that you're also gonna love it. And lastly, I have two options, which you'll understand why. But we have the Neutrogena HydroBoost Water Gel, or they also have, I think, the gel cream is another great option. I know that one comes fragrance free. There's some water gels that are fragranced and some that are not. So always check that. And if you can, opt for the fragrance free version. But this one, I mean, I feel like everyone knows about this one. It is talked about for a reason. So many dermatologists recommend this for oily or combination skin. It is so easy to find at the pharmacy. Also, I'll have it linked down below if you want to find it easier. But this is also a great option, a really great affordable option that tends to pair really well with basically everything else. This is the texture, the consistency of it. You're gonna see it's a gel, it's a water gel. The one thing I don't love is the packaging. As you saw, my La Roche-Posay is in a pump, which also is kind of annoying because sometimes you don't know when you're getting to the end. And the way that this is made, you can't cut through this, and that drives me crazy because I know that when I finish this, there's some left in there and I can't get to it. And I'm paying a lot of money for this, so I want to get every single last drop. That's the one positive thing about this one because of the container that it comes in. You can just cut it with scissors and you can get every single last drop, which I mean is a positive when it comes to this one. But the only thing that I don't like is that since it is in a pot form, obviously, I don't recommend that you stick your fingers in there because you can just start to contaminate it with bacteria if you don't have clean hands or if your hands have another product on them. So I just always use it with either with a little skincare scooper, like one of those little spoons, or just with a Q-tip. That way I use the Q-tip, dip it in, dip it out, and then just throw it away. That way I'm not just sticking my fingers and dirty stuff in here and then it's just living in there forever. I don't like the idea of that, but basically this is another great option. It has hyaluronic acid in it. It's a gel formula, so it's also very lightweight, non-comedogenic, feels great for summertime. And it's just a really great staple to have in your rotation, or at least to try out before you go maybe for a higher end option because it is so affordable and just so easy to find. And my last one is this moisturizer from Aveno. I will say the reason I put this last is because I did get this in Argentina in South America when I was there. I bought a bunch of these. I actually don't think that this exists here in the United States, so I'm not gonna have it linked down below, I'm sorry. But like I said, I'll have so many other options and just everything that I talked about today linked down below. But this one has been really great as well. It is also gel-based. I wanna say that this is probably similar to the, I can't remember if it's Aveno or Avene, the oat calming gel cream that you can find here. I don't have that much left, but this one also, it looks like a cream coming out of the tube, but it is also a gel. And just like all the other ones that I've talked about today, it is super lightweight, but just the right amount of hydration for a combination or oily acne prone skin. It also has great things like chamomile, and just overall it's supposed to be for really sensitized skin. So this is a great option if for whatever reason you are maybe watching me in South America, or maybe you have a trip coming up to South America. I just figured why not share it because I do think it's really great, and this was less than $10. So it's a steal. It's a really great one. And the label also literally says for combination and oily skin, so you already know it's good for that. But yeah, overall, I really hope that you fall in love with these moisturizers, or at least give them a try, because I really think that they can help you. I know, trust me when I tell you that I understand how hard it is to find a moisturizer when you have oily or combination skin, because you feel like everything is gonna break you out, everything makes you oilier, or if it doesn't make you oilier and it's supposed to be mattifying, it dries your skin out or irritates your skin. All of those things I have been through. I cannot even tell you how many moisturizers I've tried to finally land on these that have worked for my skin. I've recommended them to friends and family and they've also loved it, and I really think that you should give them a try. Like always, patch test, make sure you're not allergic to anything in the formula. I always patch test on a little area on my arm and also on my neck, or even a little area of my face for 1 or 2 days or a couple days, because you can have delayed reactions. That literally happened to me with one of the new moisturizers that I tried and ended up having a whole contact dermatitis. Luckily, I only tried it on a portion of my face after I had tested it on different areas, but that's just your sign that it's important to patch test and that you can have delayed reactions. So always patch test. And also, please do not skip hydrating and moisturizing your skin because you have combination or oily skin. You just have to find the right one. You have to find the right one because hydration or being underhydrated can also, dehydrated, sorry, same thing, can also lead to having more oil and sebum production in your skin, which then leads to breakouts. So you also could be dehydrated if you're not using anything at all, thinking I don't need anything because I have oily skin. No, you do. You still want to give it a little bit of hydration, enough hydration so that it helps balance it out. And these are just great formulas overall. I would love to know what your favorite moisturizers are. If you have a ride or die that you are like, this is my holy grail, or whatever it is, please comment it down below. I am always looking for good options of combination and oily skin type moisturizers to try myself, and also to recommend either through my channel or to my loved ones, to my friends, to my families, because skincare is not one size fits all. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of trial and error, and obviously the more options that you know have really worked for people, I would love to know. And that way you guys can also share with each other and we can find patterns if there's a holy grail that is out there that we need to know about. So definitely comment that down below. Or if you try any of these or currently have any of these and you find that it made a huge difference, also please let me know, because if this video helped you and you come back to let me know, it just really warms my heart and it means so much. And if you got any value from this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I am so grateful to have you here, and I hope to catch you in my next one.